we interrupt this program with a special report.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land. So sit tight and bend an ear.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week of the Manga Monday Show. My name is Ben, and I'm with my co-host.
Edgar is here.
Edgar is here. Welcome back, Edgar. How was your week? How you doing? Are you trying to do an All Might laugh?
No, I'm doing something else.
Oh, okay. But welcome back, Edgar. How was your week? What are you reading? What are you doing? What are you watching?
Oh, man. It's so hot outside. I hate it.
Yeah.
Reading, pretty much the same thing. A recent volume of Mushoku Tensei came out, and I read that like in 2 days.
Oh, boy. Here he goes.
And I also been watching... What did I watch recently? I've been catching up on Overlord because I know the new season's coming out.
Kenobi.
Oh yeah, Kenobi. I watched 2 episodes of that.
If you did know, we love to do that Sam Witwer impression. Kenobi. I did an audition yesterday where I kind of did that.
Was it with the one that I helped you with?
It was the villain, yeah. I did. There was a line where I went soon, and I went like soon. Yeah. I was like a little bit Sam Witwer impression, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Also, Charles Dance, I gave you.
Oh yeah, I did some Charles Dance there.
Yeah. I helped with Ben with an audition, and I felt like a voice director, which is pretty fun.
Pretty fun.
But I hope I was helpful because I felt like I don't know what I'm saying.
And I'm very glad the ones that we did. This is a big audition, and I'm supposed to be confidential, so I can't say what company. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm really glad we worked on the ones that we worked on because I was able to
do the
bustle through the other ones fairly easily because those are a little bit more comfortable for me. So yeah, it's just those ones that we worked on, the ones that I really need direction in. But
I'm glad I was able to give a note better than more.
Yeah,
give me more. Give me more. No, do less.
No, you gave good notes, man.
Yeah. What else have I been doing? Playing some more Fortnite. I'm gonna buy PC. I've had it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was playing Fortnite, but I was saying, like, on another note, what I've been contemplating recently is buying a PC because I was like, not only is my laptop pretty old because that's the only thing I've been using it as, but everything up until now, I've kind of like, my Mac isn't running on low battery or like running on its last fumes or anything. It's just I've been doing too much on it for it, where like a laptop is no longer sensible to use. Like my my audio editing for the podcast or anything that we need. And I opened like 5 tabs and like my Mac started making a noise where it's like running like I'm apparently playing Minecraft on the highest pixel rate or whatever. Well, I'm like, bro, I'm only have 5 tabs open and one of them's just playing a video.
Edgar, if you get a PC, we're gonna have so much fun on Minecraft and all this stuff. I might get you into Football Manager as well.
What is that?
It's FIFA, but you're more of a manager. It's one of the best. It's
It's soccer, but without the fun and not the soccer.
It's all like the boring paperwork stuff. No, it's a lot of fun, and it's the perfect game. In my opinion, it's the perfect game to have on one monitor while you're reading manga. It's really good.
Yeah, one thing I'm looking forward to having as a PC is playing online. But that's not the reason why I'm buying it. It's just like one of the things I look forward to, and like I guess joining your. I'm already on the Discord, the Discord chat that you're involved in, but I don't use it. It's on my phone, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I can't. I'm not really on it like ever. But edit like
I got a couple of Discords. We might just make our own.
And just storage is like such a big issue that my Mac just can't take anymore. And replacing the storage for the Mac that I have is like $300, but buying a new one for a PC is like $100 or less for 2 terabytes. and the one I need for my Mac is only like 100 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm done. No, I can't. I've had it.
Yeah.
So, but I just need help on customizing everything. I have a friend who's making a list for me right now on the building my PC. You bought yours just as it is, right?
Yeah, I pre-bought mine. But it's a like 1,500 that I bought. Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I remember saying Omen or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was a 1,500 one that I bought for 800 on Black Friday. So
yeah,
it's some of the best money I've ever spent.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been up to, Ben?
Yeah, I've just been reading Black Clover. Eventually, we're going to talk about that on this show. I want to get through 5 arcs before we talk about it. So I'm on.
You should have been. You're still on like the third
I'm on
or
like
fourth.
25. I'm only on 3. And the 5th one is the longest one. So chapter 78 is when we're going to talk about it.
I feel, since I know what happens, I feel like a big moment we can stop on would be, I don't want to say what arc it is, but I feel like I know a good arc where you'd be like, if you're not hooked already, you'll probably be hooked by that point, and that's like a good chunk of chapters.
I'm hooked.
I need to look. Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm hooked, but I'm like...
You don't sound... I would say if you're hooked, you're going to be like, oh, I'm hooked.
Well, no...
You just might not end up liking it in
yeah,
general.
that might be the thing. I don't know. I think his art style is Tabata's art style is getting better.
It's good. It's like...
It is good, but I also feel like in some places it's kind of incomplete.
I feel like it's messy in some
not
places.
Incomplete. I feel like it's messy. Yeah, it feels like an unfinished art style.
But it's better than I thought it would be compared to the anime is good. I just feel like the budget has like issues like every now and then. Because while they were adapting the anime, they also had Boruto on their hands. Yeah. So like sometimes you can clearly tell when they weren't focused on the anime on Black Clover as much as they were on Boruto. Yeah. But sometimes in Boruto, it felt like they weren't even paying attention to that one either. So I'm like, just pick one, drop one, or you know what I mean?
God, that crybaby face is hilarious.
Yeah, there's a lot of memes from that.
Yeah, it's also very hard when there are other stuff, like the other manga that I'm reading are just more interesting to me.
Which ones?
Vagabond, Dead Demon.
Really? They're in lull moments right now?
What was that?
Oh, I thought you said those
I said those are in. I just can't. I can't get the volumes right now because I can't find 8 anywhere. And Dead Demon Destruction. I need to wait for my paycheck. But also I started reading Soul Eater, which is God. What a start! What a just kick in the nuts. Just hey, here's the start of the manga, and I'm like, oh God, what is this?
It's crazy.
What is this world? It's like Majora's Mask, but all like upside down and everything, and it's great. And I really like. I've liked every character so far in it, and they've been very memorable.
I look forward to your to you reading it. I really want to. It feels weird. I
like it. I like it better than Fire Force right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say that I like Soul Eater,
and I like Fire Force a lot, by the way. So
yeah, I love Fire Force, but Soul Eater is my baby. I love that series so much. It's like one of the first stuff that I read / watched, and I have no one to talk to other than Alec, a friend of ours, and I barely meet or talk to him. So like whenever I do, I'm like, bro, Soul Eater, bro, Soul Eater. But I actually want to delve or dive in a conversation with you about it. I'm pretty sure you feel the same with me with One Piece.
Yeah.
I hear that the only thing better than watching One Piece or reading One Piece is watching someone else react to One Piece.
One Piece, yeah. One Piece is really good. I don't really watch too many people react to it.
Well, not react. I mean, like getting someone into it as well.
Yeah, getting somebody into it is a great way. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Edgar, let's jump straight into our main topic.
Well, that main topic.
We got 2 main topics.
We were talking about something before the podcast, and I realized we should probably put this in the podcast.
So just to preface, me and Edgar had like a 10-minute conversation about about Kenobi. But so we were like 10 minutes in, and I was like, should we just talk about this on the podcast? So just to preface, the finale just came out recently, but we have not watched it. So we've watched 5 episodes up until then. Next week we'll talk about the finale and give you our thoughts. From what I hear, and I like to watch a lot of Star Wars Theory, he said it was good, so I'm very excited for it. I really like his opinion on Star Wars. But yeah, Edgar,
should we do episode by episode, or should we just like jump around where we left off or something?
That's a good question.
We only
Whatever
saw.
you want to do, pal.
What did we talk? The last time we talked about Obi-Wan, did only one episode come out? No, there's two episodes.
There were two.
But yeah.
First
But
two.
so we haven't talked about the third together. What happens then? The fourth was.
I don't think we even talked about the first two because
we talked about the
no
first.
because we said we were going to talk about it later.
No, we talked about the first or the at least the first episode or like the first two, and then we said, oh, we'll just save the rest for when the show finishes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But let's just jump up with the third.
Yeah.
I think the third one is where Kenobi is like on that sand Nevada planet.
He's on the Nevada planet, yeah. Which is I've heard of the planet before.
Stop doing desert planets,
I
Star Wars.
Yeah. I actually like this planet. I wasn't, I'm like a lot of times when Disney brings in a new planet, which is what they did for those two episodes, it makes me a little bit angry because I'm like, we already got one of these planets like somewhere else in the universe. Just use that. And there's so much more
something
interesting.
with water, like
something with water. They got
Yeah.
Camino for that, but
not all water,
yeah,
just some.
Exactly. That's something I really cherished about George Lucas was, say what you want about the prequels, but
I will.
And you will. Yeah. Well, hey, Revenge of the Sith is one of your favorite movies, so
it's my favorite prequels movies, and it's it's like top 3 Star Wars movies, but it still has.
it still has problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people who just dislike the prequels don't really take into account that almost everything else in production design, in some of the acting moments, in world design and world building, universe building, those are all 10 out of 10s. And I just think that, anyway,
the writing just really hinders it. Like,
but I mean, I just think George Lucas saw it differently, and I think if they had the technology of today, I think the prequels would have been a lot better.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the technology at that point was phenomenally better than the most things that came out of at that point of time.
Right.
So, because like literally almost everything was green screen, and like nothing like that was ever done before.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like just because they don't hold up now doesn't mean that they made.
But don't you think, even though the writing is awful, but you could also say about the original trilogy, the dialogue is not as much as
the prequels.
But I also think that the original trilogy, like, I think the reason why Mark Hamill and people like Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford were able to deliver those lines was because they were on the set.
I just believe Han's and Leia's, and I've only watched like the originals a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I know I believe Hans and Leia's, they barely talk, but they have a better romance than Anakin and Padme too.
Yeah. Anakin and Padme's relationship is if you take that out, you might have a perfect, like, why did they could have just, made Padme like a really, really like cool character, and then Anakin fell in love for her for that,
Yeah.
Like they just should have taken how Padme was in episode 1 and just taken her into the other one, and Anakin still would have loved her for it, but she was just a little bit toned down in that one. Yeah.
And this thing, the introduction of the Metachlorians, and this is only in the first one because they're never mentioned again in Attack of the Clones or the third, I believe, aren't they?
No, the midichlorians are mentioned in the third one when he's talking about Darth Plagueis.
Yeah. But that thing, like, I don't know why he put that in the story because that's supposed to be like the amount of, like, if you're strong in the Force, you have a lot of midichlorians, and I guess that's like how to describe the numerical value of a power system, even though we're not really given anything specifics on that. But like when talking about a power system is when you introduce something like that, the only time you should ever explain your power system is when they'll be used to solve problems in the story. Yeah. And the Force is never really introduced to solve specific problems within the prequels, at least, to my knowledge.
I see what you mean. However,
like, can't beat. So there's no point of talking about the midichlorians if you're not going to have the plot around the Force being able to help with those situations.
For people listening, people who are diehard prequel fans, and believe me, I'm one of them. You also have to remember, Edgar has not finished the Clone Wars, so a lot of the midichlorian
But
stuff.
should something like that
makes sense.
really be able to fix everything that the prequels messed up?
Yes, yeah, it does, in my opinion. It does. It does. I think the whole reason why there are two reasons why people turned full 360 on the prequels, and it's because of the Clone Wars and the sequels, and that's the whole reason why people went, "Hey, maybe these aren't that bad," you know.
The sequels.
The sequels? Yeah, the sequels were so bad that they made people appreciate the prequels.
Oh, I thought you meant okay. I thought it was like turn on it. I was like, oh, the sequels are good. I'm like,
no. But yes, there is a very good episode that was originally the series finale until it came back for season 8, where Yoda goes on this little Force journey, and Liam Neeson is in it, and he voices Qui-Gon.
It's another problem I have. As I grow up, I start to realize how Yoda was kind of basically useless, and his only excuse was like, the dark side of the Force is clouding my judgment, so I can't say anything useful or say anything other than command troops what to do or saying how difficult it is to read everything. I'm like, okay, that's it.
Well,
because he actually gives useful advice in the originals, and he doesn't do anything in the prequels other than talk about how the Force is. How the dark side of the Force is clouding over everything, and they can't tell what's going on because of
I think that was the point of Yoda's character, is that he is. Here's the thing, like I said in the Clone Wars, when Yoda is on Coruscant, he is Yoda, the army general. Whether you like that or not, that's what he is. He is a general of an army. You know, he is the leader of an army, basically.
I just find that funny.
I think it is funny too, but there is an episode in the Clone Wars that make you go, "Oh, this is the shift of Yoda."
Is it when he talks to the clones when he has the moment? With
No. That's the first episode of the series. But it's in season 6 when he goes on this journey and he becomes Yoda the Hermit, and I think what Yoda was doing and what the Jedi were doing, and George Lucas was trying to tell a lot of themes that I just don't think he had time for, and that's why the Clone Wars is so much better. Number one, because he had more time to tell it, and number two, because it was a collaboration. So George Lucas collaborating with these people, like he did with the originals, where he had separate directors for every film, that really helped it.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know, the way I see it, and I don't look into George Lucas that much. I just feel like George Lucas a lot. George Lucas, to me, just didn't do it well, and then Dave Filoni just really cared about it and was able to bring back a fan base that turned on the prequels.
Yeah, I think George Lucas did it well. Like, I think that it's all part of a subjective, because Edgar watches the movies, and like we were watching The Phantom Menace, and Edgar was like, and I was watching it, and
but they weren't crazy.
And
like, they were actually
yeah. But I was like, I love it. I haven't seen anything wrong yet. You know, like I love it so far. But you know, I understand. Edgar is, like I said,
I'm not overly critical, but the prequels, on a critical, from a full pure critical standpoint, are bad all around. All the writing is bad. The acting is shoddy. From at least one actor gives a bad acting moment throughout the series, and it feels like, I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't be a crazy statement to say. I'm not saying that there's nothing to enjoy from, and that story within it happens aren't good, because like I said, the Clone Wars, the show, puts what the prequels introduce and gives them whole new meaning. I'm just talking about the prequels as the movies without anything. I know that it's canon now. I know that the show exists, and I'm not saying I'm not going to discredit that. I'm just saying, just because the Clone Wars exists and what they put into what they did for the prequels doesn't make the prequels good as movies. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean, buddy, but I think the prequels are brilliant. Like I don't.
You don't think they're bad movies?
No, I don't think they're bad movies at all.
You don't think anything? You don't think?
I think I've seen bad movies.
We completely veered off. We're supposed to talk about.
Oh,
Obi-Wan.
it's fine. This is Obi-Wan-esque. But so
yeah.
So now you know what Edgar's thoughts are about the prequels and what my thoughts are.
I won't hate them watching it.
You'll just feel pain.
It's complicated. No, not even that. It's not awful to watch. It's just like it doesn't make me mad. It just like I said it before. Like I
Yeah.
said, I feel like people tend to give them too much credit than what they are.
It makes him mad, but it just brings me such overstimulating joy that I like to watch those movies. Like I don't know, maybe it's just a childhood thing, but I think
it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia.
Well, and also that like I love. I'm that Star Wars fan who goes and points out stuff on like the screen, like in The Mandalorian when they beat the Crate Dragon and they bring out the pearl. I'm like, oh my god, that's from Knights of the Old Republic. You know, I'm one of those fans who's so invested in the lore, have read all the comic books, played all the video games. So I'm just so into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest. That's why I feel like you and I disagree a lot on the Kenobi series, because a lot of what you like could be argued that it's based on nostalgia and things from other stories. But when I look at this series on its own, it just felt like where I'm not getting enough. Not that it's like an awful show. I've seen worse. It's just I feel like I'm not getting that much from it, and there's a lot of bad stuff here and there.
So they're on the desert planet, and they get on the desert planet, and Obi-Wan goes walking in the desert, and he sees Anakin, and he's like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
Also, he gets to where they were supposed to meet, and he's like, "All right, I've had enough of this. They're taking too long." I'm like, "Isn't patience supposed to be like one?"
I think that's the point, is that he's kind of lost his Jedi. Because he's been alone. He's been a hermit for 8 years.
Why does he cut himself from the Force and say that he needs? Why does he do that and not help the Jedi who was asking him for help earlier, and then he gets hanged? Why does he do that, but then insist that Luke has to be trained when he just?
Isn't it because other Force users that have strong attachments to each other can sense each other? Isn't in A New Hope?
But why shut yourself off completely if your whole point, if apparently what you want to do is train Luke later on?
Well, but isn't in A New Hope, when I'm sure he plans on getting it back when he's older, but in A New Hope, Darth Vader's on the Death Star, and he's like, I haven't sensed this since.
Whenever the Kenobi series started.
Yeah, I haven't sensed this since. When was the Kenobi?
See,
I'm gonna look up Wikipedia.
I feel like
Wikipedia.
I also feel like it's stupid now when Leia's like, you knew my father, and that nope, what you met him in the Kenobi series, but apparently you're just gonna ignore that now because, you know what I mean?
Well, she doesn't know he's Obi-Wan. She thinks he's Ben. So she's calling.
You don't think your father would clarify that?
She's calling from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, I don't know. I mean, the father does Bail Organa does something really dumb in the 5th episode, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah. Well,
I was like, why would you say his name and Tatooine? But I think what we get to is I actually, against contrary belief, I actually like Reva, but I think she should have had her own. I think there should have been an Inquisitor series where they just touched on this elsewhere, and then just had this be about Obi-Wan. And if you want to add Leia, sure, Leia and Darth Vader.
I feel like Reva's acting is not just in the writing, but it's also just with her delivery, which I kind of just don't like.
Yeah.
And when she, especially, I'm jumping now because the scene where she interrogates Leia, I'm like, why even interrogating her? Isn't the whole point to get Kenobi, and she doesn't literally know anything, and she's only been to one location?
Before we go to, because I got a lot of things to say about the 4th episode, and almost none of them are good. So in the 3rd episode, which I actually liked the 3rd episode, and so we got like the big droid. Oh no! So first we have the trucker guy who's like,
how did none of the stormtroopers know?
We live in Texas, so like seeing like getting on a truck like that, it's like getting on a truck and seeing a Confederate flag, and you're like, oh god, you know?
Yeah, I
really liked that.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I just don't understand why did none of the stormtroopers? Why are they sitting next to? Isn't there an alert all over like the imperial like databases?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That none of them recognize him. Anyway, they're definitely fired for that, for not recognizing Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah, they were like, and Leia.
But what made me shut off my brain was when Obi-Wan fought like 8 stormtroopers, but when 4 show up, he like surrenders. I'm like, what the? And then he like shuts off the gate, even though he could easily walk around it by shooting it with his blaster. I mean, again,
I think he's trying to fight with like the element of surprise. I think maybe he did have something up his sleeve, because like he's done this thing before where he's like, okay, I saw it. Just kidding, like I'm not a Jedi anymore. He has to fight with dirty tricks now, which is it's so like I wish. Come on, dude. If you're going to have Obi-Wan Kenobi use a blaster and not throw it away and say so uncivilized, I am offended.
I'm
angry.
I really don't like when stuff relies on saying one-line quippers like that based off like nostalgia. But I was actually kind of hoping he said that.
Come on, dude.
But he doesn't.
So uncivilized. Like you could, dude. Like,
but I feel like, and I feel like it would have been a cool moment for him to, because he shut off himself from the Force. And he hasn't been using his lightsaber. I feel like he would make himself a crack shot at this point. I feel like seeing him with the blaster every now would be kind of cool. But I
think he uses when Jedi use. They say this in the Clone Wars that they use the Force to focus their blasters. So they're not good at blasters because they've never used it before. But when they use blasters, they use the Force to have their target, and then they just shoot them.
Yeah. And then jumping to when
Darth
Vader shows up,
yeah,
and he starts killing people left and right, which I feel like something he wouldn't be doing that much because he honestly wouldn't care enough. I feel like he just tortures someone up until the point to where Kenobi would jump out.
Oh no, he kills people. So often,
just to live, just like random, like just to drive Kenobi out.
Yeah, dude.
I don't think so. There'd be a purpose to him doing it.
You don't know Darth Vader, then, dude, because have you read the Vader comics?
Aren't those not canon? What can we call canon?
They are canon. They are canon.
By who? Disney or Star Wars fans?
Well, whichever. Pick or choose. But I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
In any Darth Vader medium, like if you watch him in The Force Unleashed, if you watch him even in, have you finished Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he will kill, like he will anything.
If you screw up,
there's a really good comic where anybody, if you are in his way or if you get him what he wants, he knows Kenobi is there, so he's like, I'm gonna snap this kid's neck, and I'm gonna choke this person out, and just to draw him out because it kind of worked,
I don't know. It's just when I watched it without thinking about that, I was just like, it just didn't feel Vader to me. So I was like looking at that. But
I think him doing anything else would be, he killed younglings, dude. Like he doesn't
because
care.
He was ordered to, not because they were in his way. Because he was in a village, he was ordered to kill younglings, and because he was ordered to. I
think if anything, if it gets him even an inkling closer to what he wants, he'll just do it. Like he'll just do it.
Sure.
Like there's this
but he could have done it with torturing rather than just killing people left and right.
I think there's this really good comic where he goes to this trash planet and like the rebels all like surround him and he's like surrounded by hundreds of rebels and he has his lightsaber and he looks around and he goes the rebels are like, give up, Vader, you're surrounded. And he goes, all I'm surrounded by is fear, and dead men. And he slaughters all of them. So it's really fun, that chapter.
Well, yeah, because they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
But one thing I was like, I felt like they just give her too much plot armor because she happens to find, because all of a sudden, like, I got to look in there because that's where they don't want me to look. She just like happens to find the tunnel where Leia ran into. And then eventually, oh
yeah, I hated that.
Kenobi runs into a quarry of some sorts, which is one of the laziest places you can put a fight like this. And Darth Vader traces Obi-Wan into a quarry, and then he corners him. Yeah. Well, not corners him. I don't know what happens. Lights him on fire, and then apparently all Obi-Wan gets is his clothes burned, even though he was in there for for 15 seconds. In fire, and then kind of nothing happens to him, even though Anakin was close to lava and basically lost all his skin, which, sus.
Right.
And lets him go, even though I guess you could say for toying with him, but I don't know why he would let him go if he wants him, which doesn't make any sense in the slightest. If he wants it because he wants Reva to fail, he should have just killed her then.
Yeah.
And if he wants it just to find Leia and whatever this base he's involved in, he doesn't really care about that until Reva talks about it the following episode.
Yeah.
On why.
I think, like, here's the thing. I know a lot of people had some conjecture about like Darth Vader's goals, but I think he's like two things. The dumb way you could say is where he's like, he sees fire and he's like, don't like that.
But they turn it off.
I know exactly. But that would be the dumb thing. I think the more plausible answer is he's like, I'm just gonna just gonna let him go. You know, he's like a cat who's like, because a cat who's like playing with the mice, and he's like, all right, I'll let you go. He's like, just kidding. Like he knows he has him. Like he knows he can't go anywhere. Beyond this, he wants to corner him. Yeah. He knows he's working with some people, so he wants to hurt those people helping Obi-Wan. And I think Vader knows hurting Obi-Wan isn't going to really hurt Obi-Wan. The thing that's really going to get him is hurting people he cares about, hurting innocents, all that stuff. So yeah. Also we see Vader's castle once again on Mustafar because the Emperor is a douche and has decided what's gonna make you more angry, staying in a nice place or staying in the place where you had your greatest defeat. Brilliant from the Emperor. That is
that where he put him, or did Vader choose that?
No, that's where the Emperor has specifically given Vader things that will make him more angry. He has so this is the first time we see Vader put on like his suit, which looked awesome, like with the robot arms and robot legs and stuff like that. But what we eventually find out in Rebels and in the extended universe is that the Darth Vader suit has like little pricks in it to like poke him to make him more angry and more so he tries to make him suffer even in the suit. So the only time Anakin feels relief is when he's in his bacta tank. So I think that's very interesting.
Damn, I feel like he'd be like, bro, can I get a new suit?
Yeah, and
can I change it?
Like sorry, no budget. I'm working so hard on the Death Star 3.5 or something.
Well, it's technically one. Well, one. But and then like you call this a filler episode, or I guess you can call it filler. I don't like it when there's a problem like separation and it gets solved immediately to the point to where like,
or where there's a problem that could have been super easily fixed. And this is when I come to it and it makes you think this should have been a movie. Like they were planning on making this a movie, but they added so much, I feel like, filler to it that makes you be like if you're going to make Obi-Wan freaking Kenobi sneak into,
he would have put on stormtrooper outfit. Yeah,
it's like if you're gonna have him sneak into the Inquisitorium or the Fortress Inquisitorius,
the fortress where the Inquisitors are.
Yeah, don't make it a carbon copy of what happens in Fallen Order. Please, God. And that's what it was. It was literally just he got in the exact same way as Cal Kestis did.
I also heard that from somebody that it would have been cool if he put on the Stormtrooper outfit, and then at some point he had to remove his helmet. It would kind of look like his Clone Wars white armor outfit if he had that on. But
dude, that would have been good.
Would they give him a Muppet big coat over it when he's walking Leia?
And he's like the kids who want to see a rated R movie and have to
one ticket, please, for one adult.
Please. Yeah, for one adult.
What is your finest beer? I'll have it.
The highlights of this episode was definitely when he found the tomb, and one of those Jedis was in the Clone Wars. He was awesome. He had a cane that pulled out and was a lightsaber, which is very cool. So it was sad to see him die.
Why did they keep them there if not to make them into Inquisitors?
So in Rebels, what they do is they keep the bones of Jedi to lure other Jedi in. So what they say is they go, oh, blah, blah, blah is trapped. They spread rumors and basically say blah, blah, blah. And what happens in Rebels is Luminara, Ianduli, who was a Jedi with like the kind of like black robes on her head, and she had a green lightsaber. People said she's alive and she's imprisoned in Fortress Inquisitorium, and and they were like, hot diggity dog, we gotta go in there. And then they go in there, and then they find her body remains, and they're like, oh, but and then that's when
But why?
that's
Is
when
it to keep them, to make them Inquisitors later?
I know that they're not alive anymore. They're dead. It's not like Carbonite. But
they're dead?
They're dead. But there's something, I don't know what it was. I'm being a really bad Star Wars fan right now. There's something about that lures Jedi into the Inquisitorium.
If they're dead, then that's okay. Because if they kept them alive, it'd be like,
no,
man,
they're dead.
like, are
they're
they
dead.
really good? Are they supposed to kill Jedi's like left and right?
They're
but
dead.
if they're dead,
dead.
then like, okay, I don't have that much of a gripe with that.
Yeah, they're dead.
But if they're doing it for research, that makes sense to me.
But that's where the Grand Inquisitor makes his entrance, and he has such a cool voice actor in Rebels, and he just opens the door and he's like, oh yeah, hey, Luminara's dead and you're next, and basically he's really good. You should watch Rebels. It's really good.
Yeah,
but you should probably watch Clone Wars first.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that'll be. I'll be
yeah.
skipping. But and then after this, they get saved by some Hoth-like speeders, right? They look like
it's Hoth-like speeders. I guess it's to show how green the rebellion, quote unquote, is, and they're using the wrong speeders. It just kind of rubbed me.
Can they even hover? I felt like
just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. They're not supposed to be able to hover,
yeah.
so it makes you just be like, why couldn't they just been in X-wings?
Yeah,
or something else, But yeah, and then we get to episode 5.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was, in my opinion, I think the worst episode of the season.
It just felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
And the Reva stuff with Leia. God,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
awful,
why? Yeah,
awful.
Not good.
Hated it.
And then the episode 5, we get Anakin, as young Anakin.
Yeah.
They didn't age. I'm glad they didn't try too hard to age him down. That didn't bother me that much.
Edgar, this is everything in Star Wars is so subjective. Everything. Like, I have seen everybody go, oh, I'm so glad they didn't, because then we would have gotten this. And people are like, they couldn't have done it. And I'm like, bruh, why does everything have to be an argument? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I just, yeah, this, and then.
I really liked the flashbacks though.
Yeah, to their training, and
it really hit me. I would have liked the Clone Wars one better, but seeing that again, it made me feel like it just lights something in my soul that made me feel like I was back as a kid watching Attack of the Clones, which really made me happy.
I don't have that nostalgia for liking it. I did think it was cool, and I did like seeing Hayden Christensen's back. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And what happens? They come to this base.
Yeah.
And then like the stormtroopers all come, and then they start blasting it.
But then Reva just kind of cuts it down afterwards. Anyway.
Yeah, even though, yeah. And then they have a conversation, and we see Rey's backstory, that she was killed and pretended to Reva.
Yeah.
Pretended to play dead. And we got to see some more Anakin, bad Anakin. It's pretty cool.
Vatican.
Yeah, Vatican. Vatican.
Yeah.
And. This kind of gets dragged on and then they escape. The robot dies, and then
the robot dies, and the Sand Snake from Game of Thrones dies.
Yeah, she dies. Yeah.
She dies. She was. I actually like, in terms of the new characters that they brought on this episode.
Her knocking the stormtroopers with her hands the previous episode.
That was stupid. Yeah.
I was like, what does this armor do?
But I do like the character though. I do like the character. Yeah. I thought when I saw she was casted, I thought she might have played the leader of Mandalore in a flashback, but no. And I really liked her character. But so
Darth Vader shows up. He's like, I'm coming down, even though I technically should have, because that's where Obi-Wan is.
I think
oh man.
I think the main problems that I had with this episode were in the first part, but the second part was just made me forget all, because there are some parts where you watch it.
I don't have that. My only problem is that if Reva's still alive, how and why? Because there's a lightsaber in her guts for several seconds, and then the Grand Inquisitor shows up. It's like, gotcha. But why didn't they finish her off? Why don't they make sure? I don't know why they keep her.
I see what you mean.
They think she's dead. At least if they think that, that's dumb. But if they kept her alive,
I see what you mean.
Why?
I do agree. I think in my opinion, what would have made the episode perfect is when Darth Vader got the lightsabers. Because when he got in that stance, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna do it. Like he's gonna cut her head off like he did Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Like I thought that's what he was gonna do.
But he
stabbed her instead. So
and I get the feeling that she's gonna come back to redeem herself, which has been hinted at for like a while, which
is fine. I mean, I'm not too against her character. I just think
it's not against it. It's just if they do it and if try to make it like it's like it's not written well at all, and it's not there. It's not believable for me. And they're gonna go back to Luke. I'm assuming they're gonna go back on Tatooine because he's now in danger of being revealed because
Obi-Wan doesn't know that though.
No, I know, but that's where they're going because that's where it's going to end up because like that's the next danger.
Sure.
Because Raven now knows that's where
But I feel we're skipping a lot of parts of this episode that really made me like, in my opinion, make it a 9 out of 10. Or I mean, I don't really rate. I don't like to rate.
See,
Star Wars
that was
projects
I was gonna say.
I don't really rate Star Wars projects because I think what makes good Star Wars and what makes other things good is just completely different. But I think
it actually has to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
But when Darth Vader,
when
he grabbed the ship, I was like, oh my god, it's like the Force Unleashed. In the Force Unleashed, Starkiller grabs a Star Destroyer and like forces it down and stuff. And I remember that moment because I was like on my Xbox going, because you had to click the buttons really fast to like hold it, and it was like and so when he did that, I went and he like pulled it down. I was like and I was like yes. But then of course the other Star Destroyer gets away. But I just love.
Can you tell Obi-Wan was on the other one?
I guess he could have, maybe. I don't know. But maybe he was too busy. Maybe he was too busy trying to grab the ship.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Maybe he was. But I loved when, like, also Rava's so dumb. Like, you couldn't have thought of a better time to do that. And but the way he turns around, he's like, he was like, you better get clapped. And she does get clapped.
He could have just, he could have easily just killed her.
Yeah, but as you see in the fight, I love when fights tell a story. And the story of this fight was, oh yeah, here, try it. You know, like, yeah, come at me. Let me have some fun. You know, where's that from? Let it have his fun.
Thanos.
That's from Thanos. Yeah, not Star Wars. But yeah, so he's like playing with her, and I loved seeing, because I hate the Inquisitor's lightsaber, how it spins, because it's so useless. It makes no sense. But I loved seeing it spin, and Darth Vader just like slowing it down, because it reminded me of Fallen Order when he makes stuff slow down, and then he grabs it, and he was like, here's a lightsaber, try me. Then he like beats her in an instant.
I would have liked it. I just feel like when those moments work is when you know how strong the character fighting is, which Reva, we don't really see her that skilled as good as a fighter. We just see her cut people down. And,
the Inquisitors, they're youngling level, you know, like they're younglings.
But so is Cal Kestis. But what makes us like feel like what makes that exchange feel so cool in Fallen Orders, because we've been building up to it, and he's still like on a low level, but we feel like we have a good stance on it. So when we do fight and we do lose miserably, it feels like that impact, and we just.
I remember playing that. I was like, all right, let's go. And I was like,
where's the health bar?
I was like, where's the health bar? And I was like, oh no, it's a chasing. Oh god, it was so funny. It was really good. God, I love Fallen Order so much.
Yeah. I can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also like, there was a lot of, debate and opinions about the new Grand Inquisitor, but I really, really like this new version. Like,
I just wish we got more of him rather than Reva.
Yeah. like just get Reva out and let the Grand Inquisitor be the person who's chasing him, and then have Vader step in when the Grand Inquisitor like loses to Obi-Wan or something like that. But I understand, like, I get it. They want to add new characters and stuff like that, but still, I'm just like, come on.
Yeah.
But I love. Have you seen all the memes where it's like they're looking down, like the Grand Inquisitor and Darth Vader, and it's like Pepe the Frog with like his his like lunch spilled on the floor, and he's like looking up. And I love the new main meme is the Grand Inquisitor walking up and going, "Hello,"
Really?
like yeah, it's a dude meme. But I loved his dialogue there, and I think it's Rupert Friend. He was in he was either in Sense and Sensibility or Pride and Prejudice, but he's really good. And I would love to see an Inquisitor series now, like and you have the actor of Cal Kestis. Make it so. Make it happen. Make something about that.
I think there isn't that. I think him having a series is in the talks right now.
Yes, dude, do it. He's a great actor. He was great in Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. So I really enjoyed it. But Edgar, I always see like what you say always makes sense in my opinion, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this podcast was because I think you have such great ideas. And
I just don't have that nostalgia enough for me to like it.
You have a great insight of what makes good storytelling and what doesn't. However, for me, and I don't want to call it blind, I'm blinded, but I think what makes stories so interesting is also that factor of of that thing that makes me feel like a little kid, that thing that makes me, not nostalgia, but that thing that makes me go, oh, that's really cool. Darth Vader just grabbed a starfighter and put it to the ground. Oh my God, he's wrecking this Inquisitor, and seeing the Sith betray each other makes me so giddy, and we rarely ever see it in live action. And just seeing Darth Vader, like, did you think I'd not see it? Stab. And then the Grand Inquisitor is like, hey, yo, what's up, girl? And they're like, and it feels like what's that reality, not reality TV, but it feels like a Dr. Phil, where it should have people in the background going, oh, because the Sith are so petty and so like backstabbing. God, I love it so much. So that really made me happy, and it really made me be like, oh my God, she got played, which I felt really good. Not only did she get played by she got played by Obi-Wan too, Yeah. Because Obi-Wan kind of used her as well.
What could you say that you look forward to? Could you feel? I mean, it seems like you enjoy it regardless.
Yeah,
you'd probably give it an 8 or 9 out of 10. How it is so far.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like the last episode has to save it. Otherwise, I even though it could be a 10 out of 10 episode, but I feel like it won't justify. Yeah. It hasn't justified itself for the show existing for me, to where and I feel like up to this point for me, if it didn't exist, it would have been better for it. Because like in the end, I feel like its existence has brought more trouble than it has reward for me. Sure. Even then, with all the cool stuff that we've gotten, I feel like all the trouble and contradictions that it's brought have kind of just put itself. I don't know. I don't know. Because like with Rogue One, same could be said with Rogue One, except what they did was not bring contradiction. There's poor writing in it and bad character analysis.
Edgar, I just recently watched it because you said it's your favorite Star Wars movie. I think the first part of that movie is criminally boring.
Yeah, but
it's so criminally boring.
What it doesn't do is lean on retcon, except it fixes a plot hole in the story, which justifies whether. And this might be where I'm more leaning on opinion than being objective, where I feel like it justifies it by making Star Wars feel like a war and fixing a plot hole that existed within the original story for a long time, which I thought was really cool. Whereas of this, it felt like it's being more trouble than it's worth, rather than what it's giving. And I feel like to me, it has to earn it in this last episode, where I'm still kind of weary of. But I can tell at the in the end, even though me not having seen it, I feel like Star Wars fans are gonna love it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like it.
Oh, there you go.
That's pretty much how it's a story all this time.
But I don't know. I think the Jedi Temple, Coruscant, the clones, that is Star Wars to me. So seeing Ewan McGregor back, seeing old clone troopers, Inquisitors, that stuff to me is that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
So.
anything you look forward? I don't know if you answered it. Anything you look forward to that episode, the final episode? Like,
if you're gonna have Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight, it better be the best damn lightsaber fight I've ever seen. If you're gonna break the canon and have them fight,
yeah, that's another thing.
You know, make it the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn. Give me Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon. You give me Qui-Gon. It's a really good series because you've given me Liam Neeson as live action Qui-Gon. If you give me a Clone Wars flashback, 10 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with the series.
I mean, we've already gotten them. What?
No, that's Attack of the Clones. Clone Wars in their Clone Wars outfit.
Really?
In something in the
because Anakin has his hair. Yeah, you're right. His hair
before Attack of the Clones. I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
I thought we would get it at this point. It's just I'm really surprised we haven't.
Who knows? We might see a season 2, but I don't know. We'll see.
I could do without a season 2.
Moving on. I'd love a season 2. It'd be great.
Moving on. Sorry that went on way longer than I expected.
Yeah, me
too.
Me too.
But we got some news for you. Not real quick, but we'll get into the news.
It was Edgar. I will preface. It was a pretty slow week.
Yeah, because you didn't have any news. But
no, and usually I'm the one that has the Horcrux of all of it. But yeah, there was one that really dominated the news this week, and that's really all everybody was talking. Well, 2, but yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the other one is.
Go
but
ahead.
I'll
bring it up at the end.
Yeah, but news for you is the news. We got the Sword Art Online movie Progressive Scherzo of Deep Night scheduled for September 10th in Japan. Yeah. So this is a sequel to the
way I feel
film.
about Star Wars, Edgar feels about Sword Art Online.
No, because I don't think so. Because I feel like if people said, "I'm not gonna watch it because it sucks," I'm like, "Cool." I understand it. If someone I don't know. Not saying.
No. If you say if people like Lauren hates Star Wars and will watch it, and I'm like, all right, whatever. It is what it is.
I just feel like I don't know. Anyway, the movie's coming out. There's a lot of conflict going on between us with this episode.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna fight each other.
There's no conflict. What are you talking about?
No, yeah.
No, I don't feel anything.
I don't know. It's just
Edgar's feeling things.
No, I mean I feel like we both feel differently toward nostalgia-ness. Mm-hmm. But either way, Sword Art Online, I'll definitely be watching it. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for it. We're gonna get it comes out in September in Japan, so I guess we can only assume it'll come out in December in America. Kind of happened what happened last time. So either way, love it. Can't wait to see more of it. Yeah. So what else do we have? Sorry, I have it here. Oh yeah, Chainsaw Man is back.
Yeah, that was the
This
big
was
one.
the big one.
Yeah,
I wonder what the other one is, but regardless, Chainsaw Man is set to return on Shonen Jump Plus on July 13th. This is the second part to the first part because, surprise, surprise, if you didn't know already, the entire 97 chapters was counted as a first part for the Chainsaw Man series. So, and it was one arc apparently. So, the only information we got is that it is coming back then. We learned this from editors that what's the name? Fujimoto? No, Tatsuki. Oh man, wow. Bad Edgar. How do you not know this?
Bad Edgar.
Yeah, Fujimoto. I'm not crazy. I was like, yeah. So when the information was asked about what this part two would be, he said that Denji goes to school. That's going to be a big center point.
Isn't that what they said at the end of the manga?
Yeah, but they asked, like, what is it going to be about? It's like, he's going to school. Oh. That's a big thing. This is huge. Like I said, as we said countless times on the show before or anywhere else outside of it, Chainsaw Man is one of the biggest manga series before, anything, before getting its anime series. People are, if not more hyped, as much hyped as this for the anime series. I'm not saying my words correctly. People are either more hyped for this manga coming back, if not the same for its anime adaptation to release.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. I don't know.
No, it makes
I couldn't
sense.
formulate. Yeah, because it's huge. I'll be I don't know if in the States we'll be getting the chapter on the same day. I know it's being published on my Shonen Jump app. Either way, that's why I'll be reading it. So hopefully it comes out relatively around the same time. Some more Chainsaw Man is going to be great. The My Hero Academia trailer for season 6. Did you see that, Ben?
That was the second one I was talking about.
Oh, yeah, that was the second one, yeah.
Yes, I watched it yesterday, but I didn't watch it after you. Normally, when it's anything about My Hero, I jump
get
on
up on
it.
Yeah, you
but
get
I
on.
but I was just like, you know, I didn't go. I just forgot about it. And yesterday it popped up in my recommended, and I went, oh, cool, I'll watch it. And Edgar, I wish I could show you a visual representation. I was blown away. I was like, okay. I was like, give me that good animation, please. And I will be a vocal critic of season 5. I hated the animation in season 5. I thought it was too cutesy. I thought it was sometimes like the lines didn't look like very detailed and weren't drawn on correctly. And like there's that scene of like Shigaraki like flipping slowly in the background. It looked so awful. But this is the most important season in My Hero Academia. I'm reading the final arc right now. And let me tell you, it's good, but it's not that good. This is the most important arc ever. So you have to make it
up to date.
Big. Yeah, but it looks. There wasn't a panel in a panel. There wasn't a frame in that trailer that I disliked. I thought everything looked so pretty.
I hate to break it to you, Ben, but My Hero Academia fans are going to be My Hero Academia fans.
Uh-oh.
And a good amount of them are already comparing panels to to one frame of an anime of a trailer. Oh my god!
What's the frame and what's the panel?
This was one of them.
Okay.
People are like not clowning on it, but it's just this one frame with a lot of other frames. They're comparing all the frames.
That looks great.
Yeah, but people think that it's so different. It's like, was this supposed to be this? It looks nothing like this because his hair is parted differently. There isn't that much detail to the. There's no difference.
But he looks great. Look
I
at
know,
the shadow.
but
and
people are complaining.
Oh, what's that say?
Oh.
My Academia fans, when they fear a frame that isn't 100% detailed like the manga. Yeah, how are they supposed to go any more detailed than that?
I don't know.
It looks really good.
I know. That's why I liked it, because like
Yeah.
people are complaining about it.
Huh?
It's like, yeah, look.
Huh? They ruined the most pretty moment. Well, you also have to realize, for some weird reason, people in My Hero Academia fandom like idolize the side characters more than everyone. You can't be serious. But
look at the top one. Look at the top.
Bro, I know, right? The headphones are way too big. I can clearly see the top part of the collar is under the mouth, not over it. Not to mention you can't see the top corner of the goggles in the manga. Like, if you can't adapt it right, why bother?
And that's just one of many. I don't want to scroll down too much, but there's so many people complaining so much like this. Just be happy. I know. I know. My Hero Academia, the anime, has been getting a lot of issues, specifically from season 5.
Oh, My Hero Academia and Star Wars.
But this is like on
just arguing always.
This is like on another level.
This is absurd.
But this argument goes throughout all of anime and manga, to where comparing a detailed manga panel that's meant to be a panel like looked at compared to a frame of anime that's supposed to be moving in color, but yet they compare them side by side.
But I
and
get
expect it to be the same thing.
I get it sometimes. Like sometimes it doesn't really, hit, but sometimes it makes it better. Like I have vocally said that I think Wit's design for Attack on Titan was much better than the manga was at that point. I loved Wit's design for Attack on Titan.
Yeah. But the argument is like, if you're comparing apples and oranges, they're not the same thing. Comparing a panel that was probably spent I don't know how many hours on just for that one frame, for that one panel, you can't compare it to a frame that's supposed to be moving.
Yeah.
That was spent a good amount of time on, but not nearly as enough focus as that.
I will tell you,
manga.
none of those animators are as beautiful of artists as Horikoshi. But I bet you Horikoshi could not do what these animators are doing.
No, because they're animating.
Yeah, exactly. It's a completely different thing. And it looks just as similar as any of the scenes in season 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I wanted to say that already off the get-go, this trailer looks phenomenally better than season. Okay, it is a trailer. We've seen trailers juiced up a bit before, but this on the off.
Did you see Mirko like when her like thighs like increased and she was getting ready? Dude,
Deku
that was so
looked
sick.
flawless.
Deku looked
The
flawless.
shading, the lighting, the
Aizawa's
colors.
eyes when and Endeavor.
It looks great.
Oh, dude, it looks great. Yeah.
And Shigaraki.
Shigaraki. Oh my god, dude. I cannot wait, Edgar. Edgar, we have to talk about when that episode comes out when he destroys everything and he goes
careful
up.
with
Oh,
spoilers.
sorry. Spoilers. But when he goes up, just skip to like 30 seconds after. But like when he gets up and he grabs the superhero's cape and he wears it, like I was like, "Oh my god."
That's one of those
the
moments,
best manga moments I've ever read.
That's one of those moments where I expect it to be like full anime, like all like fluid as heck.
And
So,
I want the episode to end there. He destroys everything. He grabs the cape, puts it on, and he's like, and then you see the destruction. It ends. That's how I want it to end. You know, either that or he.
It's not
you know.
I remember you saying like, "Bro, my villain arc. I wanted to see him destroy it. That's all I want." And then it doesn't happen.
That was the intro and they screwed it up.
I
They
know.
screwed the My Villain Academia arc, and I'm angry. This is my Hero Academia fan showing, but I'm because in the manga, like Shigaraki walks up and he looks up and sees the My Hero Academia sign. He grabs it. It sheds. And then it becomes...
It shatters.
It shatters.
It sheds fur.
It sheds fur.
It
It
sheds.
shatters and becomes the My Villain Academia sign. And I wanted them to do that for the intro, but they didn't do it. So.
I mean, it looks great, and I
Yeah.
can't wait for it. It has a lot of, in terms of other shows coming out in that season, it has huge. I'm afraid to say,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all up in the air because we don't know how well Chainsaw Man is going to be. We don't know how well Mob Psycho is going to be, but it has serious competition.
Mob Psycho looks pretty.
It has,
Yeah.
I mean, not just in animation, just in terms
Blue
of
Lock as well.
just
October.
in terms of story and where these animes are.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of competition. I would assume that My Hero was going to clear the floor, but it has so many. There's so many other
this
good shows.
fall is going to be amazing. You and
Yeah.
I are going to be feeding on this podcast, Edgar. We're going to be feeding.
We eating good.
We eating good over here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait for that. Also,
Yeah.
something real quick that
Sure.
I saw. My Koei Horikoshi switched editors just recently.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know he got rid of one that wouldn't let him do the My Villain Academia arc.
Yeah.
And then he got this one, and now he's changing them again.
Yeah. But this is his fourth editor overseeing the series. What is his name? I don't think it shows his name. Oh, this new editor has been named as Imamura, and has previously worked on a romantic comedy known as Ayasaka Triangle. There hasn't been an explicit reason why he made the change so late, but I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to speculate, but the chapters have all been 15 pages for now. They've been well drawn to ridiculously good point.
Yeah.
But yet again, I always ask, like,
did you read
why
the last one?
Yeah.
By the way?
We haven't talked about it.
Beautiful, dude.
Yeah. But I've always been asking, like, and I feel like a mouse who's asking for more after a cookie. But I'm asking, like, why is it only 15 pages?
Yeah.
You know, so, and especially when you need it to be fleshed out.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to jump on he's rushing it, because it doesn't feel like it. But I also don't, I don't know why I'm wondering why they are 15 pages when they can be, the standard 19 pages.
Yeah.
I feel super like I'm asking too much.
If you need to go bi-weekly, Horikoshi, just tell us.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just
saying.
do it.
But he is making this switch, so it makes me like, a bit sus and wondering if this will hopefully,
get it back to its length.
get it back to its length, or I don't think in quality, because the quality is there. Quality's good.
Oh my God, it's been so good the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. So the only statement that person has made, the editor, switching the person in charge, Taguchi Sensei. Let's go get some barbecue. Oh no, wait, no, somebody else said this. Horikoshi said this in the issue when this was announced. Switching the person in charge, Taguchi Sensei. Let's go to the barbecue. Imamura Sensei, nice to meet you. Please take care of me. So we don't. I wonder if we'll figure out why exactly this specific change was done so late in the game.
Yeah.
But I just found that really interesting. We'll see what in terms of quality and length what that'll make upon this series. But
I hope it doesn't have to do with fan harassment, because I know that everyone in Horikoshi's camp has been getting just awful messages and emails.
Also, I want to say something quick, and
go ahead, bud.
And this is gonna be manga spoilers, so skip to the next timestamp, because unfortunately this is the last My Hero Little segment. But skip to the next timestamp because this is my manga spoilers right now.
Bye.
Apparently, it was revealed months ago, like a few months ago. It was revealed that apparently, what's the French dude's name?
Aoyama.
His reveal was apparently his villain reveal was supposed to happen in the camp arc, apparently.
Oh yeah, and they didn't let him do it.
Well, they pushed it back. He pushed it back because people were already guessing at who the villain was, and a lot of people were saying the reason why he wanted to push it back because he felt like it would have been spoiled by that point.
Yeah.
So he pushed that back to later because people were guessing and nagging him.
I heard about
They were nagging him. They were nagging him on like, oh, it's this guy, right? It's Ayama. It's Ayama. And it's gonna be Ayama. Just give it to us. So I'm like, and he was like, okay. Yoink, I'm gonna put you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the back burner. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that
I don't know. I actually didn't hear like a lot of people say it was Aoyama.
I read this a month ago, and when he talked about it happened several months ago. I was just surprised that I didn't talk about it at some point. I just found that super interesting, and I think kind of sucks that somebody that we were like kind of interfering.
That's kind of interesting though, because Horikoshi doesn't seem to be the one. Doesn't seem to be. A lot of manga creators don't seem to be fazed by what people are, guessing or theorizing. Yeah. Because what was the biggest theory in My Hero Academia was that Dabi was Shoto's brother, and he delivered on that. Which is I'm glad he did, because
even though we all knew
he very easily could have gone, well, everybody knows this, so what's the point? Well, a lot of authors
it was
do
just
that,
important to like the story, not really for us.
Exactly. That's a sign of a good storyteller, is that not to be fazed by what people think or what people say, but what's good for the characters in the story.
I just feel sorry that he's getting both too much influence from both the execs, with him having to shorten the camp. Shorten the camp arc and the My Villain Academia arc because they didn't like it, and him having to push back this reveal because the fans were guessing it.
It's
really unfortunate.
Just let the man breathe. Like, come on. Like, I'm just like, why? Like, I understand that the execs were like, My Hero Academia is what's putting anime back on the map now, and for a lot of people, it's being a feeder anime. Like, it was my feeder, Yeah. But I understand that you're like, this has to be perfect, because like you have fans who are like, who would literally die for a side character that has, had an overall of maybe like 37 minutes screen time in the entire series, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's just that big. I don't know.
It's just, I don't know. It was something interesting I thought it brought up. Hopefully stuff like that just doesn't happen in the future.
Yeah. Stop meddling. That's what we love about manga, is that it's like,
unlike anime, it shouldn't be meddled with that much.
Yeah, exactly. And other Hollywood projects, Yeah. Like in Hollywood, we wouldn't get these amazing original stories because they're too long and they're animated.
Yeah.
And people aren't interested in that here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Last segment of the news is the summer anime season is upon us, people.
Woo!
Usually starts around July. That's when most shows come out. If you're into like that, like the last leg of this recent season is finishing up. Komi-san Can't Communicate is wrapping up.
I want to watch this so bad, Edgar. I want to watch it so bad, but I'm watching so many other things that are so much more interesting, but I want to watch it because it sounds really good.
I don't know about that. But anyway.
What, you don't like it? You don't like it?
Well, we're talking about Obi-Wan, so you know how to...
Komi-san?
Oh, no, I love Komi-san. I'm just saying other stuff.
Oh, you don't like it? Oh, you don't like Obi-Wan?
Yeah, you should drop Obi-Wan. Just pick up Komi-san.
Well, Obi-Wan isn't what's taking up my time. It's Ranking of Kings.
Oh, you haven't finished it?
No,
I don't mean.
dude.
Obviously,
I'm
you have a
taking my sweet
yeah.
time. This is Edgar. This show is really special. I have to say this show is really something special.
You know how it's so special for me? I watch it in one day.
Not for me. I'm the exact opposite. If something's special, I take my time with it because I don't want it to end too soon. You know.
Yeah,
So.
I do hate that feeling when something ends too soon. I love his.
I'm also sorry to interject, but I'm gonna watch. You should watch it with me. Pong.
Is that beer
is
pong?
it good? No, it's the ping pong anime. And Alec and Asal watched it, and they said that they cried at the end. And these dudes, they don't really cry. So I was like, oh god, I really need to watch this. So I'm really excited. But sorry, keep going. Sorry
No,
to
yeah.
cut you off.
You're good. Love is War is wrapping up with a big hour finale.
Yep.
It should be coming out as a recording this Saturday.
Yo.
Huge. It's so great. I think it's one of the best romantic rom-coms ever. And the dub is doing amazing. If you haven't, go check that out. Go do it. Spy Family is wrapping up its season or core.
Half season.
Yeah, half season. It was
Half
announced
season.
that they would be continuing in the fall or in the winter. But either way, these set of 12 episodes is ending here too, along with a few other shows that I can't think of as well right now. But either way, summer season here. Let me just list off a few release dates and give you a summary.
I'm putting my list up.
Yeah, right now.
I'm getting my list up ready. Go.
Yeah.
Start it now, Edgar. I'm so ready.
Wow, you just threw me off. Oh, sorry.
Start it now.
I know. I'm thinking. I'm looking. I'm trying to. Devil is a Part-Timer season 2
I've heard about this.
is coming out in July 14th. Quick summary. This isn't the official. I'm just naming off the top of my head.
Do it.
Based off a light novel, the devil from another world is transported and picks up a job as a part-timer from not a McDonald's. It's called the McRonald's. It's a fast food isekai to where a devil and his counterpart have to rise up in the world. Then he picks up a job at a part-time working in a fast food place.
That's hilarious. That's really good.
It's slice of life. It's kind of slow, but it's pretty funny. I think it's great.
That's good.
Second season. This started in 2013, and then it got 12 episodes, one season, and didn't get picked up. And people were like, "Oh, it's over." It was accepted as one of the shows that wasn't going to continue anymore.
Yeah.
But it's coming out July 14th. Can't wait for that.
Sure.
Rent a Girlfriend season 2. July 2nd.
Is this gonna have the panel, Edgar?
No, that comes like
Boo!
Ben hasn't seen the show, but the manga is known for an infamous manga panel for a chapter that came out. This is like one of those shows that I watch where like it's a dumpster fire, but I can't stop from watching it.
I can't stop looking at it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll be watching that, because why not?
Yeah.
Overlord season 4, July 5th.
This,
It's another isekai. I've been watching this. It's pretty good. Albedo, a big waifu that you mentioned earlier from a previous episode.
Yeah.
She's in that. Made in the Abyss. I don't know what season this is. It had a season and it had several movies. This is the continuation after a movie. It's a big series. It comes out July 6th. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Season 4 is coming out July 23rd.
Sometimes these
fantasy
names, man. These names.
I watched this one. I'm actually looking forward to
That's good, but
it's
still
not great, but
still the names.
I watch it. Yeah.
names.
I need to click on this one for the English name because I kind of forgot it. The English name.
Okay.
What is the English name for this one? Silent. Jesus Christ. I have it right here.
Silent Jesus Christ?
No. Call of the Night. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Call of the Night is coming out in July 8th. Sorry. Call of the Night is one of those mangas that I just heard about that was highly ranked and suggested by a few people. It's about vampires. I don't know exactly what it's about. Maybe might have some. It seems like it's kind of romance, slice of life heavy, but it's also supernatural because it involves a vampire girl. So people are gonna hop on that. And Classroom of the Elite season 2, July 4th. Along with many others, but this is like one of the last ones I'm gonna mention. Because this is also light novel adaptations. This is more psychological and high school type. I haven't seen this one, but this is also one that was thought not to be picked up again. So we have two big animes that thought weren't going to be continued, but now are.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that show, but I will pick up the first season just to watch this one. So that'll be good. But this next one, Ben, I just wanted to give you a summary on because it thought it'd be funny to reveal it to you.
Okay.
If I can find it for you right here. Here we go. A certain boy and a girl in middle school became lovers, flirted with each other, disagreed on trivial things, became more frequently irritated with each other rather than excited, and ended up breaking up at graduation. And so the two of them, Mitsuo Irido and Yume Aya, wound up meeting each other in the most unexpected fashion. Isn't it obvious that I'm the elder brother? Isn't it obvious that I'm the elder sister? The children of the partner of their parents' remarriage were ex-lovers?
No, stop.
This anime is called My Stepsister is My Ex-Girlfriend. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the best show on the market right now. If you haven't put this on your list of to watch.
Didn't you tell me about this, like the manga, like a while ago?
I don't think so. It's something else.
Oh, okay.
It was something else, but it was something of equal proportions.
Oh, God.
It reminds me a lot of Domestic Girlfriend, where two people either mingled or dated, and then their parents remarried.
Oh, it's that.
Domestic,
it's that, yeah. But there's also, this isn't weirder than the last one you told me, where like the doctor gets reincarnated as like the little kid.
But this one's another one of those leaning on incest, but not really. But we're just gonna put stepsister and stepbrother in it, just for the sake of making it taboo. But this is like, I don't know. I just found this so funny because the title was like bizarre. But I looked up on usually when it comes to these light novels, and I look at and I like clearly this is gonna be like a 6 point something rating or like a not a good rating.
Yeah.
But it has like a 7.65 rating, so that's actually pretty good in terms of like stories like this. Way better than a lot. So either way, if you want to mark it down on your list, it is coming out, and it is within this next season. This one comes out July 6th, and that wraps up. There's like a bunch of other shows that come out, but I'm not going to mention it. Either way, there's a lot to look forward to for anime watchers and lovers. The only manga big thing coming out is Chainsaw Man in terms of something returning. Obviously, there's more manga series that tend to come out every now and then, but in terms of manga, Chainsaw Man. In terms of anime, all these shows that you should check out.
There's always new stuff to read. Keep reading, guys.
Yeah.
Keep supporting new authors.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to all of these question marks. So not the last one maybe, but the rest of them I'm definitely looking forward to.
I'm still gonna watch it.
I'm still gonna watch it, baby. Ben's secretly adding it to my anime list.
Shh, don't tell
this is a fun episode. Pretty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're friends, right, Edgar?
I'm gonna punch you in the face right after this.
Hey yo.
No. We're all
we're good.
We're all having a good time.
And Edgar, don't take it wrong. Edgar still enjoys Star Wars.
The reason why,
but he's a critical storyteller.
The reason why I love talking to this stuff with Ben is because when it comes to passive conversation and talk in terms of talking about stuff you love, is that when it comes to Ben and I can he and I can have these conversations where we really get into it. That's how you know you have a friend, because rather than just someone like, hey, have you watched this? Yeah. I like this part when this happened. Cool. And that's as far as it goes. Or
they say, God, I hated it, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then that ruins friendships, and you just can't talk about it. Yeah.
We can have like a critical like an actual talk and argument over something, and then we'll have different. It's so boring when two people just like all the same things. Yeah, and that's it.
No, definitely.
I'd get bored of you in an instant if we just like the same things over and over again. That is a big plus for each other.
I mean, we do most of the time like the same things. Like usually, like especially about manga, we usually like and dislike the exact same thing. But yeah, it's just how it is. Sometimes the way you grew up and the things that you watched when you grew up changes the way you look at content and consume content. Now I do have to listen to you and go, when I'm writing my own stories, and go, okay, I'm not Star Wars, so I can't do that terrible writing stuff, I can't get away with that. I'm pretty sure, I don't think I have a very specific fandom, or like I'm not a very specific fan to something kind of like that to where I feel like not a lot of people disagree with me. With Star Wars in general, you're gonna get half a disagreement in general, even with the originals. Yeah, it's just gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, but
even when George Lucas was at the helm, only after he left did everybody truly realize, wait a second, maybe.
Well, I like Star Wars, but I just feel like all in all, at the end of the day, I feel like I've been not liking the recent stuff more than I have with the prequel stuff, if that makes sense.
You've been liking more of the recent stuff?
No, I haven't been.
Oh,
That's
you
what I'm
haven't
saying.
been.
Like,
okay,
I feel like I haven't liked this. like the Obi-Wan series and the Moon Knight series. I feel like I'll probably never watch.
Boba Fett, you weren't a fan of?
I might not watch Boba. I'll watch The Mandalorian again. I love The Mandalorian, but I feel like I might not watch those shows again.
You might have to watch the Boba
But the
Fett
prequels, I'll watch
for the episodes of The Mandalorian that are in it.
But for the prequels, if you say, "Can we watch the prequels?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, put them on, man."
Yeah, dude.
Even regarding putting my criticism aside, the prequels will be something that I'll just enjoy. It's just
that's great.
With with the new shows coming out and the people praising the prequels for the wrong reasons, at least I find, I'll kind of get mad about. But I just feel like that's because I don't like this series that have been put out so far.
Well, come back next week, everyone, as I defend Morbius. I'll just defend
I'll make
bad
fun
movies.
I'll make fun of it. I'll make fun of it too.
Yeah, that's good.
Bro, let's do a Morbius reaction.
No. if we're gonna watch bad films, they need to be anime themed. So we need to see some terrible live actions.
Next thing you know, Morbius anime is announced next week.
Definitely, totally.
Right.
So Edgar. August, Dragon Ball Superhero comes out. So maybe not next week, but a couple weeks after that, we're going to be reviewing the Super Series movies. So we're going to watch Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, and Super Broly in preparation for that. Edgar watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, right?
Yeah, probably like 40 episodes.
Yeah, 40. Well, that's still fine. Watch Dragon Ball Z Kai, so he knows a little bit about Dragon Ball. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan.
Basically nothing, guys. Don't.
No, he knows. He knows.
No,
these movies will incite you much better for the films, for the film to come. So yeah,
I really have like no opinion in it. So whether I like it or don't like it is up in the air.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So if you're interested in that, check us out. Leave a like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Anchor. The Manga Monday Show is here for you if you are interested in all things anime, manga, and all of the projects and interesting things coming out of Japan. We are here. Catch you guys next week.
We are here.